Hi, hello everyone. EIA has been in the news for quite some time. What is EIA? EIA is Environmental Impact Assessment, and it is the process of evaluating the environmental impacts of a proposed project or development, taking into consideration various interrelated socio-economic factors, cultural and human health impacts, both which are beneficial and are adverse. It is basically an environmental decision-making tool in the hands of decision makers who are taking decisions or authorizing a particular project, so that they are informed of the likely consequences of their decisions before they are taken, and also making them accountable for the same. It is intended to facilitate well-informed and transparent decision-making while seeking to avoid, reduce or mitigate potential adverse impacts in the future. In this video, let us discuss what is EIA, what is its history, what is the purpose and objective, a brief evaluation process of EIA, and why is it so important today. At the end, I will tell you the reason of my making this video as of now. Environment Impact Assessment, that is EIA, is a systematic and integrative process for considering possible impacts prior to a decision being taken for giving approval to proceed or not for a particular project. By using EIA, both environmental and economic benefits can be achieved, such as reduced cost, reduced time of project implementation, avoiding cleanup costs, and impacts on the laws and regulations. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change of India is the agency for environment clearance and conducting environmental impact assessment in India. The main laws in action are the Water Act 1974, the Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, and the Environment Protection Act of 1986. Environmental impact assessments commenced in the 1960s as part of increasing environmental awareness and involved a technical evaluation intended to contribute to more objective decision making. In the United States, EIA obtained formal status in 1969 with enactment of the National Environment Policy Act. EIAs have been used increasingly around the world. Currently, over 100 countries have legislation mandating the implementation of an EIA when a development or a project is deemed to potentially have considerable impacts on environmental and society. In some countries, example, if the project is supported by development banks such as the World Bank, these organizations require EIAs as a condition for financing the proposed project. Since its beginnings more than 50 years ago, EIA has evolved from assessing not only impacts on the natural environment but also towards integrating social and health impacts as well. Now, if you look at the history of EIA in India, on 27 January 1994, the Union Ministry of Environment and Forests, Government of India, under the Environmental Protection Act of 1986, promulgated an EIA notification making environmental clearance mandatory for expansion or modernization of any activity or projects in India. Since then, there have been 12 amendments made in the EIA notification of 1994. The notification makes it mandatory for various projects such as infrastructure, which includes road, highway, ports, harbors and airports, thermal power plants, river valley, mining and other industries to get environmental clearance. However, unlike the EIA notification of 1994, the new legislation has put the onus of clearing projects on the state government depending on the size, capacity of the project. The purpose of the assessment is to ensure that decision makers consider the environmental impacts when deciding whether or not to proceed with the project. What is needed is that the decision makers should account for environmental values in their decisions and to justify those decisions in light of detailed environmental studies and public comments on the potential environmental impacts. The objective of EIA is not to adopt the least environmentally damaging alternative, but decision makers should rather make explicit the environmental impact of the development to promote environmentally sound and sustainable development through the identification of appropriate alternatives and mitigation measures. EIA is widely accepted as a tool to ensure sustained development with minimum environmental degradation. It is carried out in a wide variety of sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, mining and forestry. Projects requiring an EIA can be large, such as a hydroelectric dam, or small, such as a new hotel on a beach. However, the level of impact on human and environmental health rather than the size of the project is the most important aspect of decision making on the need for an EIA. Now let us look at the environment impact assessment process. In an EIA, it's a system. There are sequence of activities that are implemented in a project in a very logical manner. The environment impact assessment consists of steps, with each step equally important in determining the overall performance of the project. Typically, the EIA process begins with site selection. The first step is the selection of the site. Then there is project screening, which determines whether the proposed project requires an EIA, and if it does, then the level of assessment that is required. Subsequently, an EIA is conducted. Then NOC will be applied for. Public hearing. Once the NOC is received, the pros and cons are received through public hearing, which will be conducted, and the general people living in the area would be asked to give their opinions, and accordingly their views and suggestions are also put in the report. The stage when the EIA report and review comes out, it is the result of EIA in a form of a report to the decision making body and other interested parties. These reports are then reviewed by the expert appraisal committee. This committee consists of environmentalists, scientific experts and construction experts. It examines the adequacy and effectiveness of the EIA report and provides the information necessary for decision making. It decides whether the project is approved, rejected or needs further change. If there are more negative impacts than positive ones, then they will suggest alternatives to mitigate those. And once those changes are made as recommended by the expert committee, the project would be accepted and environment clearance would be granted by the Ministry of Environment. And lastly, there is monitoring and auditing measures. Once the project is commissioned, there is monitoring and auditing measures to check and ensure that the impacts of the project do not exceed the legal standards, and implementation of the mitigation measures are in a manner as described in the EIA report and recommended by expert committee. But EIA also has its weakness and limitations. The Delhi Metro Rail Corporation and Commonwealth Games Village are only two of the countless examples. There are many examples where the environment has lost its battle for survival because of the failure in the environmental evaluation process due to private interests. In order for the EIA to become a reliable act of government, substantial reformations will have to be made. The reason for making this video is because earlier this year in March, the Environment Ministry has come out with the draft EIA 2020 consisting of 83 pages to replace the 2006 version, which governs the environmental clearance process for various infrastructure and industrial projects. This draft EIA 2020 has come into severe criticism by environmentalists, as they believe that it has a serious dilution of the present rules, and said that it will favor projects that violate rules and operate without environmental clearance, which will have damaging consequences both to the environment and the society. Subsequently, the government had extended the time limit for expressing views from various stakeholders from June 30th to August 11 due to continuous pressure from environmentalists, conservationists, researchers and civic society groups. I request all of you who are watching this video to kindly go through the draft EIA and give your suggestions, comments and observations to the government. so that the laws are made more stronger, there is more integrity and transparency in the law. The links for both the draft EIA and where the comments need to be sent are given below in the description. So to conclude, EIA should lead to better standards of development, and environmental assessments should help propose proper mitigation measures. If conducted well, an EIA can help stimulate growth and production in the local economy while promoting sustainability. As the natural resources become more limited and human population continues to increase, the importance of improving the sustainability of development and identifying mitigation measures is even more, and that is why creating high quality EIAs is of paramount importance. Thank you.